Hey, what's up guys? I am Brian at Whisper Status 74, and this video is a follow-up to the video from last night, the Techradar review that I kind of pushed you guys towards or told you about. Some of you had saw it on your own and you guys have commented about it. I honestly have not read many of the comments from last night. I just got home from work and I've been reading the review thoroughly several times. I read it last night, but the goal of last night's video was more to gloss over it and then send you guys there, and then you guys can tell me what you think. Quickly, you guys are fascinated by the fact that everything on my shirt was written backwards, and you guys want me to invest in a better camera and all that. I appreciate that, guys. The reason you're seeing me all backwards is I'm using the selfie side of my phone. And my phone is just very convenient to upload videos as quickly as possible. The majority of the time on this channel that I spend, other than making the videos, which doesn't take me long, is responding to your comments. Now, I responded to 200 or 300 a couple days ago. That's the best part about the channel for me, is to communicate with you guys. I'm not really interested in throwing my name on the screen and having music in the background and editing and cutting. Maybe if this channel grows and gets huge, I have a DSLR camera. I have all kinds of nice stuff like that. Uploading it is arduous. It's easier for me to just have it on my mind, send it to you. Videos like last night, I want you to think of that as reporting. I heard this, here it is, take it, run with it. This channel is not supposed to be polished. It's a discussion-based channel among friends. It's community. Think about it as TV therapy. And we're all here to just kind of pass information back and forth. If you want that sleek, processed, that's just not this channel, and I apologize if I've misled you. This is just a friendly channel. I'm not even getting defensive about it, but the constant comments about the camera, guys, I mean, I'm going to invest $3,500 in a 75-inch TV for the channel that I don't need. So investing in a camera for the same money, it's just not what I want. That's not what I'm interested in. And primarily because the state of YouTube right now, I can spend 4 hours editing a video and then have it taken down or demonetized, or I'm just not interested in. I've spent time doing videos in the past and trying to make them as great as they can to have them taken down 5 minutes later. The reason you see my face instead of movies, copyright is out of control, and the YouTube algorithm is really, it's taking things down right now. So this channel is simple. It's just discussion based. It's how we feel. I answer you back in the comments. We go back and forth. You guys talk to each other. It's a community. It's a family. So sorry, the camera is just my phone. I have another phone just to read the comments on. Yes, when it's selfie, you're going to see everything written backwards. The thing is, I'm not asking you to read anything. The camera does focus back and forth. I apologize. So quickly, the Techradar. And I hope that didn't come off as defensive. I don't mean it to be. I'm just trying to be realistic with you guys. I'm not a polished channel. It is just me. I have a career. I have children. It's just something that I do. It's an amazingly therapeutic platform for me. It's that's not that way for a lot of you guys. It's a friendship. But I'm not going to alter it and polish it up. Maybe down the road, guys. But for right now, it just is what it is. I hope you guys are okay with that. Quickly, Techradar. That video, as I said yesterday, I said in the review, or we talked about the review, that it was very vague. I will never tear down a publisher. I'm not interested in trashing anyone or anything. You guys can do that all you want. That's not my goal here. It was vague. A lot of these reviews from a lot of publishers are very vague. It's a lot of design. It's a lot of how things look, how the TV sound. That is what's popular. I hate to break it to a lot of you, picture quality is down the list for a lot of people when they're purchasing a display. I know it doesn't make much sense. Airplay, functionality, that stuff is what's important to many people. How does it look in their home? I could care less about it. I don't care if the TV was 5 inches thick, as long as it looks good. Now, back to the Vizio Quantum P Series X, whatever. I'm not in the habit of defending brands or trashing them either. But the thing is, just because I've purchased it, I don't feel the need to go out there and defend it and jump in other people's comments and attack it and throw what's better. Not my desire. Not something I leave that to you guys to figure out. If my Sony 900E is the best display I've ever owned. It's not the best performing display I've ever owned, but it's my favorite. I don't need to defend that against someone else's TV. It's just, I don't know. I just don't feel the need to do that. I'm not a fanboy of any particular brand. I am looking at the Vizio Quantum P Series X for one reason. It's affordable and it's highly spec'd. And it's something I think you guys would relate to. Now, some of you have mentioned OLED again to me. Why don't you just buy an OLED, call it a day? Why don't you buy a Z9G, call it a day? Yeah, the Z9G would be probably a dream TV. And a 77-inch OLED would be the TV that I would really kind of want. The idea isn't really to buy one that I want. The one is to buy something that you guys can relate to. If I buy a 77-inch OLED or I buy a Z9G, as much as it might be fun to look at that, after a while, there's not going to be a whole lot of people that can relate to those purchases. Now, if you guys you enjoy looking at things that are super expensive and maybe not realistic for the majority of you, or even for myself, that's just not content that I'm interested in. I try not to look at things that, not try not to look at them, but I want to be relatable to, when I'm looking at things that are relatable to me, I want to look at something I want to purchase. As much as I'm fascinated by certain things, I don't watch celebrities open gifts. I love watching Lamborghinis and stuff like that, but I'm not fascinated with this dude bought a Lamborghini, I'm going to watch his Lamborghini. Me having a 77-inch OLED in this room, yeah, it would look cool to show you some of the footage, but is that something you're really going to be interested in? I wouldn't find it interesting. What's interesting is something that Vizio, TCL, and Hisense are attempting. They're attempting to deliver high-end specs for low price. Now, is it working out? Who knows? I already tell you that I have several comments. One from Brad. I won't bring up his last name. I'm not sure. But him and I were talking as he pre-ordered the Vizio Quantum P Series. I'm going to read you his message. And I'm also going to read you another one from Raul, who's owned the Quantum P Series in the past. This is also now, as much as I'm not going to defend displays, if you have a Quantum P Series from last year, please jump in those comments and not defend your display, but give your point of view. Now, Artings rated the Vizio Quantum P Series very, very high. If you watch their Q&A about it, they weren't as high on it. They were more realistic about it. Now, comparing it directly to the Q9FN of the time, which was Samsung's flagship and arguably their best TV, it hung in there. And yeah, some of the specs were better. The control of local dimming, we talk about the elegance of local dimming. Can you see the transitions? The fear of the brightness of the Quantum P Series is the control of that brightness. I brought this up yesterday. So I'm going to read you Brad's comment, and we'll go from there. Whisper status. First off, I lost the panel lottery. My Quantum X has a small dark spot right in the middle of the screen, so it's going back regardless. So right off the bat, he's telling you that his panel is defective from jump. Small dark, it's screen uniformity. So it's going back regardless. 1080p content still looks kind of grainy and washed out compared with 4K HDR content, which alludes to the upscale. Now he's saying 1080p content. Now I'm guessing he's meaning 1080p and not 720p or just cable TV. Kind of grainy and washed out compared with 4K HDR content. And other TVs I've had side by side, meaning he's tested them. Highlights in SDR and HDR are very bright. Honestly, the TV reminds me a lot of the previous year Quantum I returned, but with better backlight control thanks to there being double the dimming zones. Overall, if someone is interested in this TV in a 65-inch, I'd say save some money and pick up the 2018 Quantum. Other than certain scenes being incredible because of their peak brightness, I'd say I prefer the overall package of the Samsung Q80R that it had to offer. I have a C7 OLED in my bedroom, and I prefer that picture hands down, even though it can't get as bright. Now, I've talked to Brad many times before. I do trust Brad. He has no reason to lie to me or to be dishonest, but that's an honest assessment of a display that hasn't really been reviewed thoroughly. Person has it. John Hooper, shout out to John, who is also amazing in the comments, steered me to a forum that had a review where the backlight struggled. That review was from last week. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but that person was struggling with the dimmable zones being obvious, meaning that they could see the transfer from one zone turning on from the other. Not causing banding, but causing, you can see the zones actually pop. Now, John, thank you for that. John is awesome on the channel as well. Always commenting, always kind words. Thank you for that. But what I want to do is then find Raul's. But we'll go back to Techradar's video. I know this channel, this video is all over the place. It was extremely vague. It focused on a lot of things that didn't make sense. The specs were not of the Quantum X P series. I mentioned in my video that it seemed like they were talking about the P series. They had the zones were off, so I'm not sure if they did a comprehensive review, and then as whoever was typing it up went off. You know, some of you have joked that the actual specs are on the box. So I'm not sure what happened there. Whether it's just quick, they got it out there. I'm sure a lot of these reviews, guys, just like game reviews, you're tempted to get them out there first. That's got to be, it's hard out there in publishing. It's very, very difficult to publish anything now. They're fighting for their life out there. I don't fault them in a rough way. I think that he needs to do a little bit more of a comprehensive review. Probably everything they're saying is accurate, just not the numbers I just think don't add up, which can be tough. So that is something that, again, take with a grain of salt. I have not read a lot of your comments. I did find Brad's again. Brad, good luck, man. Let me know what you pick up. And I'm sorry it didn't work out. But we're going to read you Raul's comment as well. Hold on one second while I find that. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Raul's comment is long. Now, with the comments, guys, the last thing I want you to do is to all agree with me. You know, you want to talk about the camera and all that stuff, that's fine. Those, I mean, comments are comments. But the comments where you really want to talk about or disagree or whatever, do it. It's discussion. This channel's not me, it's us. Tell me what you think. I want to know. It doesn't do me any good to hear how great this is or how great that is if you don't feel that way. So tell me, especially if you can give me your personal in-home experience with a certain display, that's what I need. I'm gonna bring that TV in here, but oh, I just lost this comment. Hold on. Okay, here we go. This is Raul's. I'm not gonna put his last name in there, even though I did say John's whole name. My bad, John. So Raul, first of all, love the channel. Thank you, Raul. I just wanted to give some input on Vizio. So after much deliberation, I went ahead and purchased the P Series Quantum 2018 version. I have a Sony 930C. Now, guys, the 930C is a 2015. It is before the 930D and the famous 930E. So he's talking about an edge-lit 4K display. And a Samsung Q9FN. So he has a Q9FN. Coming from those two TVs, I must say that, yes, the Quantum P Series is brighter, but not necessarily better. In fact, I think that the brightness is its biggest downfall. The amount of blooming and haloing is so distracting, and the side angle viewing, to put it mildly, is putrid. I called Vizio and sent them pictures of the issue I had. They sent me a replacement. They said it was probably a bad panel. But I went ahead and bought the line and fired up the replacement, and it was either the same or worse. I feel that Vizio is selling the whole brightness aspect without properly recognizing that blooming and haloing is sometimes so distracting that it makes the viewing experience unwatchable. Then when you turn off the advanced lighting setting, this is what's really important, guys. From medium to low or to off, it washes out the image. Now that's my fear, is that yes, the display will be very, very bright. And in order to make the picture deeper, maybe changing the gamma or the feature he's talking about that I'm not familiar with, I don't know if that's the local dimming, it washed out the image. So it's either bright or not. With us that like to mess with the settings, we need to have that flexibility. Then we turn on, yes, okay, washed out. The Sony 930C, which is 2015, handles everything I throw at it with class and style. HDR, non-HDR content is so beautiful to look at. That's something that the Vizio spits out brighter, but not necessarily better. As for the Q9FN, there's really no comparison. That TV is close to perfect as you're going to get. Everything I threw at it was beautiful. There was no haloing, and the viewing angles are much better than the Quantum, which makes me question Arting's review. I'm not at a loss, and he talks about what he's going to replace it with. I feel the Quantum X is going, I'm just cutting down a little bit. I feel the Quantum X is going to be more of the same, if not worse, because it's brighter. I feel your channel is a great platform, and I want people to make the mistakes that I made. I hope this helps those that are on the fence. A lot of viewers are, for some reason, gloss over the haloing and blooming issues on the set from Vizio and concentrate on the peak brightness and nits, etc. Yes, it has Dolby Vision, and yes, it's relatively cheap at $1,500. That was the 2018. But to say it's better than the Samsung Q9FN or OLEDs, I think is downright irresponsible. Please do your research, and if you can find a display model with real-world content. So, Raul, thank you so much for your comment. and for being very, very honest. Now, I have no desire to fight Raul and jump against Raul. Raul's trying to help us. Now, you're going to say in the comments he has his Q9FN, he loves Samsung. Not interested in that either. What he is saying has been said in other forums. Now, my plan is not to talk you into buying anything. My plan is to give you as much information compiled from as many different sources as I possibly can. I'm not here to tell you to buy this or buy that. I will help you make that decision. But if I get information to where I want you guys to look out for, I'm going to pass that on. And that's all we're doing here. That's all here. There is no sponsors. I don't have a Costco t-shirt or a Vizio t-shirt or Samsung, Sony, whatever. If these reviews come out, and say the review is the same as the Techradar review, and it's positive, that TV will be purchased by me. I will test it. I'm not going to just buy it, use it, and return it. I don't really believe in doing that. I will buy it with the intention on keeping it. If it's defective or I really, really don't like it, but I'm not going to buy it getting all the reviews. If the reviews are bad, I'm not going to buy it. To me, it would just be, I don't know, it's not something I would do. That said, take those comments as well as the ones that will accompany this video from other Quantum owners and then merge them and find that happy medium. Some people are not really too distracted by blooming. I had the KS series from Samsung where blooming was actually in panels. I'm not super sensitive to it. I see it on my Sony 900E here and there. There's a huge difference between blooming and flashlighting and edge problems and bleeding out light. That is very, very different. They're not the same. Blooming really is the haloing around bright objects. It's when you see the local dimming, causing that artifacting, when you're seeing that it's trying to light something else up and the area around it stays bright. That's blooming. For those of you that don't know what blooming is. The problem is a lot of the reviews, the one in Techradar, didn't really mention blooming. So I'm not sure if they used light bleed in it a few times. A couple other people had said that, it does. And so light bleed might also be what they're saying is the blooming goes into the black bars when you're watching a movie. I would say that the Z9D, the 940E, and the Q9FN that I've seen had very little blooming. I will say that the Samsung 900R, the 8K one, had blooming in my video and right in front of me in a brightly lit room. I think the Q80R and these newer displays do have more blooming than the displays that were previous to that one. Them lowering their zones is probably the issue. The Quantum P series should have no excuse. It has a lot of zones. So our concern is going to be, how is that balanced? So I thank Raul and I thank Brad for sharing their comments. I thank John for steering me that way. We're all here trying to help each other. That is it. What is the motive? I have always kind of talked about with anything in life. My motive is to be here for you guys when there was very few people that were there when I was going through this struggle. Talking to salesmen, saying, yeah, that's the way these TVs are. That's not something that I'm doing here. I'm not here to also, again, persuade you to buy something for I don't get any kickbacks from any of these companies. I'm a small channel. It's just us guys. So keeping it positive, keeping it light. Sorry I came at you with the camera thing, but it's just what's important is our discussion. It's not really what happens here. It's what happens in the comments, guys. The best content of these videos is in the comments. So read those comments. Vizio Quantum P series, people that are out there. Quantum XP series, people that have purchased theirs and they have received them. Please jump in these comments. Tell me what you think of this display. Give us all a little bit of insight into what it does well. Talk about it in detail, please. Yeah, as much as I want to hear, I love it, it's awesome, take care, that's great. As much as I don't want to hear how crappy something is. If you don't like it, tell me why. Be specific. Now, I'm not interested in how trashy or crappy or terrible things are. Speak with it and let me know. Let us know why you didn't like it. Is there a lot of blooming? There are some of you on the channel that have the Quantum that love it. You don't see any blooming. So share that and we can all talk in the comments, and I'll be back in the comments. You guys see me answer almost every comment. There were a lot of comments on yesterday's video. I have not addressed those yet. Shout out to Daniel, who had an awesome comment in that video as well. Shout out to Nate, who also just wants Nate Newton. He wants to shout out just because he wants one. Thanks, Nate. So Quantum P Series X, I'm still interested in it. I'm still looking forward to it. I think it's still very promising. I am still taking Raul and Brad's comments. I am taking them as truth. I am interested in them. Please, if they jump in the comments, be kind to them. They will definitely help you guys. That's why I was allowed to share their comments. But let's talk more about it. Now, I'm not interested in just doing Quantum P Series videos, obviously. I'm looking forward to these TVs releasing. I want to see them. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do for you guys. I'm rooting for Vizio. I'm rooting for TCL and Hisense to deliver great quality at a low price for all of us. I'm not super interested in elitist, super expensive things that nobody can afford. Now, do I love that stuff? Sure. I love having nice stuff. Yeah, nice stuff, great. But that's not what this channel is. This channel is meant to be something that you guys can relate to and things that are realistic. This is a small room. It's nothing crazy. There's some expensive stuff in here. Nothing crazy. So I'm just here to talk with you guys about that. That's why it's a community. It's a family. Look for more videos on it. Please share reviews and also share if you find other reviews. And we'll talk soon. So thank you as always for listening. Let me know what you think. Thank those guys for their comments. John, Daniel, Brad, Raul, Nate, Newton. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. Thank you for giving me this platform. I will talk to you soon. Take care.